ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. إلا دار زايد لا تقرب حماها لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. نحنا شعوب لها نفدى ثراها نبذل الغالي لها دوم ونهب. نحنا شعوب لها نفدى ثراها نبذل الغالي لها دوم ونهب. داري لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد. وام الشيوخ اللي الله رعاها ربت قروب للوطن هم سند لا تذكر الفزعات إلا طراها مداتها بالعطايا هي تسد. وام الشيوخ اللي الله رعاها ربت قروب للوطن هم سند ولا تذكر الفزعات إلا طراها مداتها بالعطايا هي تسد.
Hello everyone and welcome again to another episode of your favorite program Pearls of Union. In today's episode we have a very special guest with us, Miss Pearls. I'm sure you all know that there is a beginning of all stories. Today's we are Miss Pearls. She's going to share her personal story with us.
Hi, Shani.
We are happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before we begin our main conversation, Miss Pearls, it's important to know about you yourself, your experience, background, and education, please.
So, I grew up in the UAE. My dad came here in 1978, and me and my brother grew up. We did our schooling over here from KG up to grade 12, and then we moved to the US for our degree. I actually have a bachelor's in graphic designing. And I worked in the field of advertising and corporate communications for a couple of years. And then I quit when I had to start my family. I stopped working for the interim period. And 6 years ago, I joined back into the family business. So Fabtech was formed 31 years ago. My dad started this company over here. And he is a living testament to the fact that, you know, you don't need to go to a fancy Ivy college or go abroad to study or anything. He grew up in a very tiny village in India. He went to a regular school, he went to a regular college. But the UAE gave him that platform to succeed. You know, it was beautiful because this is one of the few countries where you're not faced with corruption. You don't have to deal with nepotism or any of these other issues that you.
Of course.
Back
Yeah.
home. So all he came here with was his education and his courage and determination to make something of himself. And this country gave him that platform to do so. Which is something that we'll forever be grateful to. It's been 30 years now. We started off in a tiny workshop in Awir. And after a year, we moved to Jafza. That's where Fabric International started. Then this plant started about 10 years ago. This is fabric engineering. And then we opened up fabric coating and fabric modular. And we have a branch in Abu Dhabi as well, called Fabric Abu Dhabi.
Miss Pearl, 31 years of experience growing up with your father and seeing him working in this sector. What is the main thing you have learned?
To never give up.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't the first time my father started a company. He tried several times and there were several setbacks, but he never gave up, Shaheen. I think that is the biggest takeaway for me. To not be afraid to make mistakes, to not be afraid to fall down. The important thing is to pick yourself up again and to keep going. I think that was the biggest learning. That's the biggest thing I took away from, watching my father grow up. He was my role model throughout. He and I have another uncle of mine as well who has started. He's got his own setup here too. And the both of them, like I said, they came to this country with nothing except their education and their determination to make something of themselves. And they did.
We can see from that 31 years of experience, for sure. Miss Pearls, 6 years of journey, as you mentioned. Who supported you in this journey?
My dad. My dad has always been my biggest supporter, my strength. Hands down, it's always been him. And I would also like to acknowledge my aunt, Rosemary Saldana. She taught me, Shaheen, that apart from being a daughter, a sister, a mother, an aunt, you're also an individual.
Of course.
And it's important not to lose sight of that. If you are happy within yourself, then you can play out all your other roles.
Exactly.
If you're not, then you cannot do justice to them. And she constantly kept repeating that to me. And I think that made a huge difference to the way I look at things today.
Being a mother and a businesswoman at the same time, how you can manage between all of this?
I'm very blessed to have a very understanding son. And I think we also grew up in a family where, we respected the work. It's the work that puts food on your table, that puts a roof over your head.
Of course.
Right? So when I get home, I try to switch off. That's another thing I learned from my dad. The minute the minute his car would park, he would turn off his cell phone. And it would turn on only the next day when he got back into his car. No matter what the situation was, when he came home, he was at home. He was with his family. And I'm trying to do that with my son. I've not reached that stage yet, but I'm trying. But he's a very understanding boy, and he respects the fact that, mom has to work and things. He's been very supportive in that way.
Behind the scenes, we saw your son is working with you here. What's the idea behind this?
So ever since he was born, my father has always told him he's going to be an engineer and you have to join the business. But I'm a single mom. So ever since he's been born, we used to live with my parents, and he would see my dad go to work and come, and dad invested a lot of time in talking to Brandon about the business and about the machinery and engineering. So I think that's kind of rubbed off on him. So even from the time when he was little, he would come in, sometimes with my dad, sometimes with me. Now during the holidays, he comes in to do internships. He goes into different departments. I think it's important to start from the grassroots level. Then you appreciate the amount of work that goes into, the kind of jobs that we do.
Spurs, how does Fabtech stand out in engineering?
Diversification. That was the vision my father had while building this company. If you look at a lot of fabrication companies, they focus on either drilling equipment or static equipment, and the one particular vertical. Exactly. But Dad made sure that Fabtech was diversified. So say the oil sector is in a slump. Material handling is still running. So we still have business for that. So he never focused on one particular vertical, and I think that is our biggest strength. Because today we are the largest diversified engineering and fabrication company in the Middle East.
How does FabTech make sure that the quality of the product is a high quality product?
So Shaheen, this is a team effort. Everyone from the team that keeps the yard clean right up to the VPs, everyone has to contribute in order for FabTech to produce something of high quality and with the efficiency that's required. And I think that team spirit runs high, very high in our company, which we are grateful to.
Ms. Pearls, how you make sure that the client is happy with the service?
We are a very hands-on type of company. For the most part, my father would go into the yard personally to check on all the projects. He would operate the cranes, he would climb into the equipment if he had to make sure that the quality. So he led by example. So today, a lot of our managers, our senior production engineers, quality engineers, they understand the importance of being hands-on.
Of course.
So all of our managers are working managers. They're not just looking over a team. They are engaged in the work themselves personally. So that helps ensure the quality. And understanding what the client wants. That is the main thing.
That's the main point.
Right? To understand certain clients are very focused on quality. Certain clients want the best in terms of rate.
Exactly.
So how we can give them the best answer to this problem. That's the focus of.
Exactly. As all sectors, there is some challenges every sector face. What is the main challenges which you face in this sector?
Well, I think, and this is the same with any industry, if you look at today, it's very hard to compete with the rates in China.
Of course.
One, since all of the mills are based, we have very few, I think there's only one mill out here in the UAE, steel mill. Otherwise, we need to procure either from China or from India or from Europe if it's specialized steel plates. So the procurement time sometimes goes up to 4 months. Companies in China have access to this material, so they can deliver it at a much faster pace than what we would, and at a cheaper cost as well, because they're not worried about shipping and things. And also, labor is a lot cheaper there than it is out here.
Exactly. And how FabTech is keeping up with these challenges?
So Shane, there are two things, right? One is you look at automation, you look at increasing technology, use of technology in your company. But as a business owner, you also have a social responsibility towards your workers. We have men with us who've been there for the last 20 years, 15 years. It's not right to bring in, modern equipment and phase them out.
Exactly. By your own experience, 6 years of experience, through your experience, what is the lesson you have?
I've learned a couple of things. So one is it's very important to be open to change. If you resist change, you're going to go down very fast.
Exactly.
You need to be open to change. But at the same time, you need to be able to balance out how much. Like when you, as a business owner, yes, you're definitely responsible for the revenue. You're responsible to ensure that the margins are good, profit margins are good. But at the same time, you need to ensure that you've got a good staff working with you. Your staff is happy. You're keeping your workers on board. At any point in time, we've got about 3,000 workers in all the plants collectively. That means that 3,000 families that me and my brother are responsible for.
Exactly, and that's a big responsibility for sure. What's your future plans for FabTech?
We are looking at diversifying more into that, because that was my dad's goal, to keep diversifying and to keep growing.
Yeah.
And we intend to carry on this legacy and give a lot more opportunities. It's really nice that the government has introduced Emiratization now. We've got a lot of Emiratis working with us. A lot of boys coming in from Alain who are doing their engineering as well. So it's nice to, after a long time, we're having an opportunity to work with the locals over here. So I think that's a very interesting part now.
And Ms. Pearls, also it's important to give an advice to the young generation who would like to build their career in this sector. What's your advice for them?
To never give up, Shahid. Don't give up. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid of setbacks. Look at every mistake as an opportunity to learn and to improve. The main thing, don't repeat the same mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and keep going. Don't worry about what people are going to think or what people are going to say or about failing. There's no such thing as failure. Each mistake is a stepping stone to success for tomorrow.
Ms. Pearls, we have learned also a lot from your experience. Before we end our program for today, would you like to give a thank you message for the UAE government?
Definitely. Like I said earlier, the UAE was the platform in which my father was able to come in and establish himself. He left his home country at the age of 27. And so this is home for us today, because this is the land that allowed him to develop himself, to build his dreams, to achieve his dreams. And it's just, it's amazing how a person can come here and succeed without having any backing, without having any, there's no corruption, there's no nepotism, none of these things. My dad and my uncle came here, they started their businesses. One is 30 years old, another one is, I think, coming up on 25. So I think that's testament to the beauty of this country, that anybody can come here and succeed and make a life for themselves as long as they're dedicated and determined to do so.
And with this, we come to the end of our program for today. We had a great conversation with Ms. Pearls, the Managing Director of FabTech, who is continuing her further journey. It was a great speaking to you, Ms. Pearls.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Lovely talking to you.
Thank you.